Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you guys can see, this is a series. Well, you guys might not know, but this is a series, y'all. I don't know if you guys peeped, but this whole month of October we're doing series. Now the first video that I did, I was not able to do a Halloween makeup look because I filmed that video in September, but for the rest of my Storytime series, I will have a Halloween makeup look. Now look, pause. I legit hate this look with a passion. I hate it. I'm about to zoom in so you guys can see how I did it. This is probably one of my worst creative looks I've ever done. This is how it looks. You guys can see. Now the regular beat, honey, like the face beat is, everything is, the eyebrows are, everything is, but I do not like this spider web. I don't know why. I don't know. Let me know down below if I'm tripping, but this spider web is not that bad, but I do not care for this spider web. I feel like I can do better than that. Typically in the past, used to draw on my face a lot, so but I have not done it in such a long time, so I'm guessing I'm probably a little rough around the edges because I don't really draw on my face as much anymore. This is just the first episode, okay, of my Halloween makeup series. I have like so many more Halloween looks that I'm going to be giving to you guys, so I should be getting better and better as time goes on. But I really wanted to take it off and be like, you know what, I don't want to film, I'm over it. But nah, I did this look, so therefore we're going to film. Now, the last story time that I filmed, the most recent one, if you guys have not checked that out, be sure to go ahead and check it out. Also, like I said in that last video, I wanted to get that video to 2,500 likes. We are currently at 2,000 likes. Once I get my 500 likes, I will film a part 2. And that's how I feel about this video as well. This video is a continuation of the friend who beat me up. This was a series. This was always going to be a series. I just forgot to tell you guys because that was just like, my friend didn't just beat me up and that was it. Like, so much more drama pursued. So there should be 2 more parts to this story time. In order for me to tell part 3, because this is part 2 of the story time, and I am going to leave the story time in the description box down below. So if you guys have not checked out that story time, be sure to check out that story time first before you watch this, because you're gonna be confused. And I ain't stopping for nobody, okay? I'm like a train. Like, once you miss the train, once you miss the bus, you gotta find another one, you feel me? So go ahead and check out that story time and then come back to this one, and you guys will definitely see what I'm talking about or whatnot. But like I said, with the other story time that I filmed the other day about, what story time was that I filmed? About me pulling up on my toxic best friend. Get this video to 2,500 likes and I will film a part 2. And I promise you guys, I'm not filming a part 2 until I get my likes, because I personally feel like if you guys could take the time to watch the video and actually, like, you guys actually give feedback and you guys like the video, then why can't you just like the video? You know what I mean? Like, it helps me a lot. So, and it only takes you 2 seconds. Stop what you're doing right now and just automatically like the video, so you guys do not have to, you know, remember to like the video later on. But without further ado, let's get into the story time. I need to figure out what I named my friend. Hold on. Okay, so I had named this girl Kelsey, and if you guys remember watching my last video, you guys do know that me and Kelsey got into a fight, and unfortunately a bitch like me did not win. I ain't win the fight. But we ain't talking about that. This is a whole new story time for a different day. Now we are going to introduce 2 more friends. We are going to call one friend Kelly. So Kelly is another friend. Kelsey is the girl who I fought in my last story time and lost. And then I have this one girl named Brittany, which was my other friend as well. Now we're going to go ahead and give a backstory to Brittany and Kelly, because I didn't really tell nothing about them in my other story time, but they play a prominent role in everything that transpired and everything that happened. So I was friends with Kelly and I was friends with Brittany. I had a separate friendship with them. Like, we were not a group. We didn't know each other, all like 4 together. We were not a group. We had like a completely separate friendship, and I was individually friends with them together. But since I told you guys that I told you guys in the last story time, Kelsey was my best friend, I ended up introducing Brittany and I ended up introducing Kelly to each other. Not together, but like on separate occasions. And if you guys watch any of my story times, I always tell y'all, do not introduce your friends, okay? Your friends are your friends separately for a reason. Once you start introducing and mixing groups, and that's when stuff just starts getting muddy. And you know, not all the time, but for the most part, you know, girls are very catty, we're very childish, you know, y'all know what I mean. Like, it's not good to introduce your friends, okay? Don't do it. Don't do it. Take it from me, do not introduce your friends to each other. I started introducing them together, and I wanted them to become friends with my friend Kelsey, because like I said, Kelsey was my best friend. They hit it off really well. All four of us were cool. I'm gonna give you a description of Kelly's behavior, and I'm going to give you guys a description of Brittany's behavior. What I would notice with Kelly is that as she began to get closer to Kelsey, which was my best friend, I'm gonna just call Kelsey pretty much my best friend. As she began to get closer to my best friend, I don't know if I was tripping, but I began to see something different in her attitude, in her behavior, in the way she moved. And this is before me and Kelsey fought. I began to see just a different shift in her behavior, in her mood. She would catch attitudes would be more. On top of that, like I told you guys in the other story time, me and Kelsey was having a lot of issues before me and her actually fought each other, with her sister, with other girls that she was beefing with, and she wanted me to jump. And I was like, I ain't jumping nobody for you. And she had an attitude about that. Like, it was a lot. And you know how you could just tell somebody talking about you and not in a positive manner? Whenever I would come around Kelly, I just kind of felt like her and my best friend were talking about me behind my back. Like, I don't know, I just always got that vibe. The reason why I began to get that vibe is, like I said before, Kelly just started switching up and acting weird. When me and my best friend were on bad terms, it kind of felt like I was on bad terms with Kelly. When I was on good terms with my best friend, it kind of felt like I was on good terms with Kelly. I was looking at them like, are y'all like on the low? Like, are y'all on the low? Like, is it an affair going on that you guys are in sync with each other? Like, do you guys catch your cycle on the same time period, at the same time, the same day, the same hour, and the same second, including the same minutes? Like, why are y'all in sync with each other? Like, and mind you, y'all, I never, that's the funny part about this whole situation, I never got into a fight with Kelly. Never. Me and Kelly's friendship was fresh. We had fun. I had so many classes with her. That's how we became friends. I had a lot of classes with this girl. We had a lot of fun together. I never had an issue with her. I used to call her after class. Like, me and this girl's friendship was so cool. Me and you don't have an issue. So how come when I have an issue with my best friend, you are like low-key choosing sides, but you're acting like you're not? Because she would catch attitudes with me, and I would be like, are you good? Like, did I do something to you? She'd be like, you didn't do nothing to me. Okay, then sis, if I didn't do nothing to you, then tighten up. Tighten up. I began to peep that, and I began to peep that they were getting closer. So they would start hanging out without me. They would start doing things without me. Like I told you guys in my other story time with Bozo and Zebra doing the same bullshit, I did not care in the beginning until I kind of felt like it was intentional. And I don't know. And the funny thing is, I should have learned my lesson 9th grade year, because this whole thing happened 9th grade year. I should have learned my lesson 9th grade year with Kelsey and Kelly when they did this, and not repeated that same thing with Bozo and Zebra. But it's like I didn't really learn my lesson. But yeah, basically, if you guys watch the story time with Bozo and Zebra and how that whole fiasco did happen, y'all already know. Basically hanging out without me, and I just felt like they were talking about me. Like, I just personally felt like they were talking about me. I end up telling Brittany, and Brittany, I don't tell Brittany, I basically tell Brittany, I say, Brittany, I don't know if I'm tripping, but I do feel like something is off with Kelly. And Brittany's like, what's the issue? And I told Brittany straight up, I said, Kelly's just giving me off vibes. Like, she's been hanging out with my best friend a lot. They don't hang out with me no more. Whenever I'm fighting with my best friend, it kind of feel like I'm fighting with Kelly. Kelly be having attitudes, mood swings with me and shit. Kind of just feels like they've been talking about me. I just gave her the whole rundown. Like, basically everything I'm telling y'all, I told her. Brittany was one of them friends that she listens. Like, she doesn't listen to speak. She listens to actually listen, articulate, take everything in, and then she tells you how she feels. So Brittany is not one of them friends where she gonna be on my side just because she my friend. Like, whenever I used to be wrong, Brittany used to be like, girl, you're wrong. You're wrong. Whenever I used to be right, oh, Brittany used to ride that coattail, you know what I mean? So after I got done saying everything and telling everything about how I felt, Brittany told me straight up. Brittany was like, girl, I'm not even gonna lie to you. They talking about you. And I was like, you think so? And she was like, yeah. Yeah. She's like, they're talking about you. She was like, they're having some type of discussion about you. Basically, probably every time you get into it with your best friend, she runs to Kelly about you, and Kelly is probably choosing her side. And the funny thing is, whenever me and my best friend used to get into it, I never went to Kelly about it. I never told Kelly anything about me and my best friend's argument, because personally, first of all, it wasn't Kelly's business, and second of all, because they were cool, I didn't want Kelly to go back and tell my best friend that I was talking about her to her. I never told Brittany that me and my best friend used to get into it until I started peeping that my best friend was probably telling Kelly that me and her were getting into it. That's when I started telling Brittany, like, yeah, me and my best friend, we be getting into it, da 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 da, like this and that. I was giving her the rundown. Mind you, at this time, Brittany is still friends with my best friend. Like, she's still friends with her. They're still hanging out. Like, Brittany is trying her best to remain neutral. But Brittany is telling me, hey, she told me straight up, I don't really want to be in this, but I am letting you know that she might be talking about you. You might be right. She might be talking about you. Just tread lightly. Be careful with what you tell her. A, B, C, D. So as time goes on, I start slowly but surely stepping back from them. I stop hanging out with them two together, Kelsey and Kelly, my best friend and Kelly. I stopped hanging out with them. I stopped treading back from them. And at this time, this is still when me and my best friend were still arguing. All them arguments I told you about. And remember, I told you guys there was a time period that me and my best friend stopped talking for months. I stopped talking to her, and I low-key stopped talking to Kelly too. Me and Kelly would have classes. Kelly wouldn't even look my way. This whole Kelly would be looking at the board. I'm looking at Kelly like, you're not even a nerd. Like, you're a class clown. Remain a class clown. Like, what you looking at the board now today? What are you, like, I legit have a vivid memory of, I thought high school was a joke. I used to go to school with no backpack. I used to go to school with a small little purse. I had lip gloss. I had makeup in that purse. I had a couple of snacks and my cell phone. That was about it. I'm pretty sure I was probably trying to ask Kelly for a pencil. And Kelly used to sit like in front of me, but not like in front of me that like this. I'm talking about like she would sit here, I would sit here. So we would sit in different rows, but she would sit in front of me still. So I tapped her shoulder to ask her for a pencil. Y'all, why Kelly act like she didn't feel me tap her shoulder? I'm talking about Kelly straight up ignored me like I was a dog. Kelly ignored me like I was begging for food on the side of the road and she was on her way to work and she had to go because she was in a hurry. Kelly ignored me like how Christ ignores non-believers on Judgment Day. Kelly ignored me. So at this point, I'm kind of looking like maybe I'm tripping. Because, you know, sometimes I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. Whenever you sense a friend acting weird or acting not how she usually acts, leave the friendship. It's nothing about arguing. There's nothing to do with arguing. There's nothing to do with calling her out. She knows what she's doing. She does not care how you feel about the situation. She's not an adult. And at this time, mind you, we were in 9th grade, so I kind of get it. But she's not adult like to tell you, hey, I don't like how ABCD is going. She wants to be childish. Leave her where she left you. And that's with anybody. With a man too. If a man doesn't want to talk to you, leave. So at this point, I tried to get her attention again, and she turns around and she was like, yes. Like, the yes was like on some like, girl, what do you want? Like, the yes was really like, yeah, like what? So I was like, I kind of made a face and I was like, do you have a pencil? She was like, no. And she turned around. Kelly was one of the people that used to bring like those like, the people that bring like this in their backpacks that is full with staplers, erasers, pencils, pens. So you mean to tell me, Kelly, that you don't have a pencil? Is that what you're telling me? Okay. I'm peeping. Y'all, like I legit in my head said, oh, okay. Okay. And I left her alone. Because when people are ignoring you and when people are trying to be rude and not consider your feelings by trying to ghost you, You have to bow out. You don't owe nobody an explanation because they felt like they didn't owe you an explanation. So I wasn't about to chase her and be like, oh my God, what's the issue? No, if you want to go, bye. So at this time, I ran and I told Brittany what happened, and Brittany was like, yeah, leave them alone. And Brittany began to grow a disliking for Kelly. Now at this time, Brittany was still kind of friends with my best friend, so she didn't really grow a disliking for my best friend, but she just kind of started watching out for her. She told me straight up, because Brittany agreed with me. Brittany said, look, Irene, I ain't trying to take sides in this situation. She said, but best friend is asking you to do things that is so absurd. Your best friend is not taking you into consideration when she has her sister disrespect you on a daily basis. Now, I ain't trying to take sides because I'm cool with both of y'all, but she said, for one, I'm closer to you, like you introduced me to her. And she said, and for two, she on some weird shit. And she told me straight up, she said, Irene, if it was you that was on some weird shit, I would tell you, like, Irene, you tripping. I ain't gonna lie, you tripping. She said, but it's really her that's on some weird shit. She said, I ain't gonna cut her off, and I'm not gonna start acting indifferent towards her like how Kelly been acting indifferent towards you. She said, but at the same time, I'm about to watch how I hang out with her, because I don't want her to start switching up and acting weird towards me as well. So that's what Brittany started doing. Okay, I didn't tell Brittany to stop talking to my best friend. I didn't tell Brittany to ride on my side. I didn't tell Brittany nothing. Brittany on her own decided that she was just about to watch how she handled my best friend because she felt like my best friend was acting weird. And the funny thing about the whole situation is, Kelly, you're a dummy. Like, the reason why I said Kelly was a dummy is because you haven't even came up to me and asked me my side of the story. I'm pretty sure my best friend was twisting stories around, making the story sound good in her favor, twisting stories up and down. Like, I'm pretty sure that my best friend was doing the whole 9. You haven't even came up to me and asked me, hey, Irene, Kelsey said ABCD, is it true? Da da da, this and that. That's number 1. Number 2, number freaking 2. Bitch, I introduced y'all together. So you need to act like I introduced y'all together. And that's why I said Brittany was a writer. Because Brittany told me straight up. She said, Irene, if you were wrong, I would let you know you're wrong. She said, but you ain't wrong in this situation. She said, on top of that, you introduced us together. She said, so I'm taking your side regardless. Because you my dog. Like, you my friend. I'm cool with this girl because of you. So I'm going to take your side regardless. Why wasn't Kelly having that same energy? I'm seeing Kelly and what's this girl's name? I'm seeing Kelly and I'm seeing best friend hang out with each other. And mind you, this is during the time period, like I told you guys before, when me and my best friend were not talking. I think we stopped talking for like 2 months. Their friendship grew. They used to hang out at each other's house. I would see them on social media, like on Facebook, adding, messaging each other on Facebook posts. I would see them on Instagram, commenting under each other's posts. They always was messaging each other on Kik. I would see them, like, it was just, I used to have class with Kelly. I would see her messaging on girl on Kik. Kelly completely stopped talking to me. Before, it just went from Kelly just, waving at me when she would see me in class. Kelly stopped talking to me completely. Like, she stopped talking to me. She stopped looking my way. We just went from being really cool to not being cool at all. And might I add, you guys, as I told you guys before, me and Kelly did not get into not one argument. At this time, I'm not going to sit here and make up stories because I don't really remember what happened, but my best friend started irritating Brittany. And I do think that it had something to do with this other girl, and we are going to name her Toast. And I'm sorry if I'm bringing up so many names, y'all. It's so many different people that play characters and roles in this story time. That is the reason why I'm breaking this story time up into 3 parts so I don't get you guys confused. Now, let me introduce Toast. Toast was friends with my best friend. I was not cool with Toast like that. We didn't fight. We didn't have beef or nothing, but I just didn't know Toast like that. I just knew Toast as Kelsey's like friend, you know what I mean? Toast was this pretty girl. She was light skinned. She had curly hair. I think she was biracial. She was very cool. Like, she didn't bother me, but I do personally feel like Toast had the tendency to be messy. I'm going to talk about Toast and my friend Brittany and their argument and everything in the next story time. But I do want to say that Toast started being messy towards Brittany. Brittany kind of told my best friend, like, hey, get your friend. Because we all knew Toast through being friends with my best friend. But Brittany told my best friend, hey, like, get your friend, like, check your friend. And I don't think my best friend liked that. I think my best friend kind of had this perception of, for one, you don't check me about stuff that don't got nothing to do with me. And for 2, like, don't tell me to get my friend type. My best friend seen that as an insult like for Brittany to tell her like get your friend, which I personally did not see it as an insult. I feel like if that's your friend, get your friend type shit. Like if your friend is disrespecting me, I'm gonna tell you, hey, get your friend. I don't like the way she's dealing with me, you know what I mean? My best friend took it as an insult, and so Brittany and my best friend started getting into it. So we're about to get into that, and that is the story time for today. So basically Brittany called me and Brittany told me how Toast was disrespecting her on many occasions, and then she told my best friend to handle it, and Kelsey basically told her, hey, don't come. Kelsey, y'all, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Watching Kelsey was like watching a movie. Kelsey went from being the sweetest girl that I had ever been friends with to becoming a nightmare in front of my eyes, like in a split second. Mind you, at this time, y'all, when Brittany and Kelsey started arguing and stuff like that, this is after me and Kelsey fought. So after me and Kelsey fought, Brittany kind of felt some type of way because Brittany was just like, for one, why would she spit on you? Because you guys remember in the last story time, Kelsey spit on my foot. So Brittany kind of felt like, for one, why would she spit on you? Like, why would she spit on you? And so Brittany started kind of like side-eyeing her and kind of like treading back from her. The reason why Brittany hit her up was to tell her to check her friend Toast. And I think that was another reason. I think that was another thing that kind of pissed my best friend off at the time, because I'm pretty sure she was like, you haven't really talked to me since I fought Irene, and you had the audacity to come and talk to me and try to check me about my friend. Like, she had that type of like attitude, like, who are you checking? Me and Kelsey fought and she beat me up. It's not like Brittany took my side and was like, oh, F her, this is and that, like, da da. It's not like it, nothing like that happened. It's just that Brittany kind of felt some type of way that Kelsey spit on my foot and was like, okay, I'm gonna keep my distance from her. They were still saying hi. They were still talking to each other in the hallways. It's just that Brittany kept her distance away from her because she knew that Kelsey was a troublesome person. That whole situation happened. Brittany and Kelsey started going back and forth, and Kelsey was basically telling her, no, like, you're not finna check me. Don't check me. Whatever issue you have with her, you go talk to her. You don't talk to me. You go talk to her. You don't talk to me. Mind you, they're on the phone. Like, they're on the phone going back and forth. And Brittany, she not no punk. Like, Brittany is not a punk. And mind you, Brittany was so skinny, y'all. Like, when I say skinny, I mean like skinny. Now, I'm not saying that Kelsey was big. Kelsey was bigger than her. Like, Kelsey wasn't big at all, but she was bigger than her. She was taller than her. But Brittany was not backing down. Like, Brittany told her straight up. Brittany was like, look. Like, Brittany went off of her. Brittany was like, look here, ho. She was like, look. She was like, I don't know what to tell you, but you better get your friend. And Brittany was one of them people where, like, she takes it from 0 to 100. Brittany doesn't argue for long. We get 2 sentences out of Brittany. You probably get like 2 or 3 sentences out of Brittany. After Brittany hits that 3rd sentence, she ready to fight. That's just the type of person Brittany was. So Brittany told Kelsey straight up, she said, look, it's either you get your friend, she said, or I'm gonna fuck you and her up. I'm in my bed, I'm chilling. Bitch, I'm chilling. Bitch, I'm thinking of guys that don't want me. Okay, I hear a ring, ring dong, ring da ding 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 dong. So Brittany calls the phone. So I'm like, hello? So she is hot, y'all. Like, when I say she's hot, she is hot. She's like, yeah, like, I'm so serious, Irene. I'm so serious. I'm fighting Kelsey tomorrow. I'm fighting Kelsey tomorrow. Mind you, it's nighttime, y'all. It's time for bed, okay? We should be getting ready to sleep. It's like 11, 10 o'clock at this time. She straight up is yelling on the phone. She's like, I'm fighting Kelsey tomorrow. I'm fighting Kelsey tomorrow. This isn't that da-da. I'm like, okay, calm down and let me know what happens. She tells me everything that happens. Like, and I was just like, Brittany, why you initiating fights? And she was like, look, I don't care. She was like, I don't like what she did to you. Like, Brittany was basically saying, like, she did not like what Kelsey did to me, and she was not gonna let it get far. Because if you guys heard in the last story time, I told you guys that, like, I gave Kelsey so many chances, and she kept messing me over. She kept messing me over. She kept messing me over. So Brittany kind of had it in her head, like, let's nip this shit in the bud now. Like, let's nip this shit in the bud before it gets out of hand. Like how it got out of hand with me and her. So she even told Kelsey on the phone, she said, you're not finna play with me like how you did Irene. Like, basically saying, like, you're not finna, like, go do the back and forth with me like how you did Irene. And I think Kelsey caught an attitude, and Kelsey was like basically yelling back on the phone saying, bitch, you been wanting an issue with me. Like ever since me and Irene fought, like you been wanting an issue with me. Like bitch, this is your way to have an issue with me. And basically Kelsey was yelling, talking about it don't got nothing to do with toast. Bitch, you been wanting an issue with me. Bitch, you been wanting an issue with me. And Brittany was like, man, get ready to fight tomorrow. And she hung up. Like I said, Brittany don't really talk like that. Brittany just gonna throw that punch. And Brittany is so small, but that little baby can fight. Like, she's a good fighter, okay? The next day comes and it's the morning time. My bus stop used to stop first. Like I said, at this time, Kelsey did not ride my bus anymore. She got a different bus route. Her bus route cut off from mine, so she had a totally different bus route from us. She did not ride the bus anymore, so I never really saw her after me and her fought. My bus, we used to stop first before any other bus in the school. Brittany's bus will kind of be like 3 buses down, so I used to sometimes, after I stopped being cool with Kelsey and Kelly, I used to go to Brittany's bus and hang out with Brittany in the morning before I went to alternative school. Y'all, at this time I'm in alternative school. Remember I told you guys after I fought my best friend and I went on the mic and I started yelling and screaming on the mic, they sent my ass to alternative school. Like you guys do not know, it was the alternative school that was inside the school. I walked to the bus. I almost asked Brittany, we're at school? Bitch, I thought Brittany was getting ready for a pajama party. Brittany had a headscarf on to suppress they wraps and then tie headscarves. She had like 2 different headscarves on tight. Brittany had on a big ass t-shirt. Mind you, Brittany used to wear crop tops. Like she always used to wear crop tops and jeans. Crop tops and jean shorts. She always was like a tight fitted type of girl. Brittany was a very skinny girl, so she used to wear extremely tight clothes to accentuate her body, you know. Brittany had on a big ass t-shirt. I mean, bitch, I could have fitted to that t-shirt. Like, bitch, I almost thought Brittany was playing around. Like I said, Brittany, is this my t-shirt? Like, bitch, I thought Brittany stole one of my shirts out my closets. Bitch, I had to look at the shirt closely and be like, oh no, I never bought a shirt like that. The shirt was big, and this bitch had on some boy shorts, like long ass boy shorts. I was like, Brittany looked a hot mess, okay? And Brittany got off the bus. Mind you, she had on some tennis shoes. That's not like Brittany. So at this time, I'm like, Brittany, what's going on? And she was like, did you think I was playing? Like, she said it straight like that, like with a straight face and all. And I was like, I'm still looking, because I'm not saying that I didn't think Brittany was playing, but at the same time, I thought Brittany was playing. Like, I didn't really think that Brittany was gonna dress for the occasion of a fight. Brittany's like, did you really think I was playing? And I was like, you really gonna fight her? And she was like, yes. She was like, she's disrespectful. She's like, I'm fighting her today. It's so ironic. As soon as she said that, my best friend stepped out of her bus. And it's like we made eye contact with her at the same time, and she made eye contact with us. And I'm guessing she's seen the way Brittany looked. She's seen Brittany's aura. She felt Brittany's energy. So she started giggling. Kelsey was an antagonizer. It was messy. She was just very negative. I guess she looked at Brittany up and down and she started laughing because she was just like, what does this one have on type? So Brittany came up to her and Brittany was like, are you ready? And mind you, y'all, Kelsey was not dressed to fight. Kelsey had on, I think, flats. I think Kelsey had on, Kelsey was just not dressed to fight. She was not dressed in a fighting mode. She didn't have her hair tied up, nothing. Kelsey was one to never back down from a fight. That was the thing with Kelsey. Kelsey will fight anybody. She never backed down from a fight, okay? So when she asked her, are you ready to fight? Kelsey was like, yeah, where do you want to fight? He was like, we're going to the restroom. And Kelsey was like, bet. Kelsey did not care. Now, Brittany used to hang out with these group of girls. They were like in a little clique. They did not like Kelsey at all. We ended up seeing them in the hallways when we were walking into school. Mind you, we're all walking inside the building together, like me, Kelsey, and Brittany. Like, we're all 3 walking side by side. Kelsey's walking with us. She's not saying anything. We're all 3 walking in. And so Kelsey's laughing, like Kelsey thought everything was a joke. So Kelsey was like, what restroom? She was like, let me give you a reenactment of what Kelsey was doing. What restroom? You want this one or you want this one? Because we had multiple different restrooms throughout the whole school. So Brittany was like, Brittany put her hand up like this and she told the clique of girls, she was like, I'm finna fight her. And so they was like, yeah, like, what you mean you finna fight her? And she was like, I'm finna fight her, like, I'm finna fight her now in the restroom. And they were like, yeah, whoop her shit, whoop her shit. So Kelsey was still laughing. Like, Kelsey was still laughing. She thought shit was funny. She was like, what restroom? Like, what restroom? The group of girls was like, that one. Like, they had pointed to a restroom over there on that side. We get to the restroom, and they just start fighting. I mean, they didn't say nothing to each other. Brittany threw the first punch, and they are now fighting in the restroom. So basically, Brittany took her fist and she, boom, she hit her, smacked that in the face, and now they're fighting. So they're fighting. The girls that Brittany is cordial with is yelling at Brittany like, get her. I'm just standing to the side. I'm like, whoop her shit, Brittany. I'm like, whoop her ass. Because I wasn't able to do it. So you gotta do it for me. I'm like, whoop her shit. Like, I'm like, yeah, get up, Brittany, because there was a point in time that, like I said before, Brittany is a tiny ass little girl. So there was a point in time that Kelsey had flipped her over, like legit flipped her on the ground, and Brittany was on the floor and Kelsey was on top hitting her, but Brittany was able to like pull Kelsey, like she used Kelsey's body and pulled it up and twisted around and was able to get back on top and hit her again. Like I said, even though Brittany was very small, Brittany was very powerful with her hits. Like, her hits was very powerful. Very powerful. And Brittany used to hit fast. Like, Brittany used to punch quick. Like, her punches were like, it was quick. I think personally, because Brittany was punching Kelsey so fast, Kelsey was not able to keep up with the punches. Kelsey was not able to punch back. So it got to a point where Kelsey was just trying to drag her, because like I said, Brittany is small. Like, this is a small girl. So Kelsey was just dragging her through the restroom. They started off at the beginning of the restroom and ended up in the way back of the last stall. Like, y'all know the handicap stall that is really big for handicapped people? They ended up inside that stall. They started in the beginning of the restroom before you get to the sinks and ended up in the stall still fighting, because of the simple fact that Kelsey could not control Brittany's punches, because Brittany was not pulling here at all, y'all. Brittany was Kelsey was just swinging her like by her shirt. So basically Kelsey was like swinging her. Brittany had like hit her head on one of the stalls. Mind you, Brittany still punching while Kelsey's swinging her. Brittany still punching. We're screaming, get her, Brittany, get her, Brittany. Y'all, get to the back of the stall, and I think Kelsey gets so upset that Brittany's winning the fight, because Brittany was winning the fight. Kelsey holds Brittany. Kelsey holds Brittany with like I physically seen it. It was like it was slow motion. Mind you, Kelsey was holding Brittany's shirt like this the whole time and just dragging her. In the beginning, Kelsey was punching, but when she couldn't keep up with Brittany like punching and weaving and shit, she just started holding her shirt. Kelsey took Brittany's shirt, wrapped her hand around it more like that, and boom, hit her head on, y'all know that metal part where people sometimes hold to get up off the toilet, which is so nasty because so many other people are holding that metal part. Please don't hold that metal part. Which I know there's like a metal bar that people sometimes like push their hand up to get off the toilet. She took her by the shirt and knocked her head on that metal bar. Y'all know the cartoons where the thing be going and it be like shit swirling around their head? I could have sworn that that's what happened to Brittany. Brittany legit went like, ugh, and she fell on the ground like a knockout. She fell on the ground. Sorry y'all. I told you guys before, Brittany was friends with a whole bunch of hoodlums, okay? So as soon as that happened, Brittany tried to take a control and tried to start like hitting her, like getting hits in. Those girls and me too, we dragged Kelsey off of Brittany. It was just not going down like that, because we knew that Brittany was hurt. She was on the ground just holding her head. Like, it's like she went through a shock. Like, she legit was like this. She was like, because Kelsey knocked her head hard. Like, I don't even know. I'm not even trying to be funny. I don't know how Brittany survived that. You know, some people like legit start getting internal bleeding and then they die. So when Kelsey started trying to punch her head on top of that, chill. So we legit dragged Kelsey off. I grabbed Kelsey first because I was in front of everyone. Like the clique of girls were in the back. But I grabbed Kelsey first, and then the clicker girls, they grabbed Kelsey too. When I grabbed Kelsey, she stepped back. It's not like she was trying to get on her. Like, she stepped back. I think she was scared of us jumping her. So when I grabbed Kelsey, she stepped back, and I was like, chill, chill, you're done, you're done. I was screaming at her. And the other clique of girls, they grabbed Kelsey, and they swung her across one of the stalls. Like, they legit grabbed Kelsey, and they swung her. Like, it happened quick. Like, I grabbed Kelsey, and then they pushed me out the way. I stood back, like, I kind of stood back at the same time of them pushing me out the way. Then they swung her across the stall. Like, they swung her like she was a feather. They were like, get the fuck out of here. Like, they were screaming at her, get the fuck out the restroom, get the fuck out the restroom. And Kelsey was low-key trying to stand her ground, like, on some, like, or what? Like, when they were yelling at her to get out the restroom, Kelsey was looking at them like on some, like, or what? Like, what's gonna happen to me if I don't get out this restroom? And one of the leaders of the clique, she was like, do you want to fight me? And that little baby, let me tell you something about that little baby. That little baby could fight. Everyone at the school knew that that girl could fight. And I don't think Kelsey wanted smoke, for one. And for two, Kelsey just got into a big scuffle. Like, she's probably tired. And Kelsey probably was weighing her options out. It was probably like, hey, if I fight this girl, I might lose, you know, because I'm tired. And on top of that, this girl could fight. Like, that girl was the type where if you're going to fight her, you low-key need all the energy in the world to fight her. And I don't think Kelsey was trying to get onto that type of levels. Because the girl was like, do you want to fight me? And Kelsey just looked and she walked out the restroom. But at this point in time, we're helping Brittany up. Brittany is like, still, like, you could tell that Brittany's trying her best to get up on her own. Like, Brittany tried to get up on her own and fell on the ground again. So we're all helping Brittany up, and we're asking Brittany, like, are you good? Like, are you okay? This and that. And Brittany's like, yeah. Like, she was like, I'm just like, this bitch swung me. Like, she was like, I'm like dizzy. Like, so we're getting Brittany water from the faucet. We're putting it on her head because she said like a part of her head was like hot. We're putting water, like cold water, on her head. We took her to the nurse to get an ice pack. Of course, we lied. We didn't say she fought. We said that she fell. The nurse gave her an ice pack, and yeah, everyone went about their business, and we went to class. She went to class too eventually. She ended up going to class. I ended up going to my alternative program, and that was that. But fast forward to the ending of the day. Did not get caught. Nobody knew we fought as far as like authority, but the school knew that Kelsey and Brittany fought. Kelsey is going around saying that we jumped her, and she still beat up Brittany while we were jumping her. That's a lie. That is a bold-faced lie. We did not jump you. People are coming up to me in the hallway saying, so you jump Kelsey with the clique in them? I'm gonna just call them the clique. With the clique in them? I'm looking like, what? Why do I need to jump? For what? Y'all, guess who entered the chat? Guess who enters the chat? Kelly. The girl who I have not talked to since before I fought my friend Kelsey. Kelly finds herself trying to check me before we get on the bus. Mind you, Kelly did not ride the same bus as me, but she had the audacity to come up to my bus right before I was about to get on the bus that day. Here's someone call my name. So I stopped and I looked back and I see it was Kelly. And so I was like, yeah. And she was like, so you decided to jump your old best friend with your other friend? And I was like, I don't know where you heard that from. And she was like, everybody's been talking about it. And I said, well, let them talk. And I walked in the bus because who is you checking? Like, baby, I don't even talk to you no more. Like, who is you really checking like that? Bitch, I introduced you to this girl, not the other way around. Why do you have more loyalty to this girl than you have to me? And I ain't never been in a fight with you. I've never been in an argument with you, nothing. But you got more loyalty to this hoe than you have to me. For what? For what? So at this point in time, I'm just like, wow, like, Kelly got me messed up. Y'all, tell me why I get on my phone when I go home. Kelly is attacking me in the kick messages. She's talking about I'm the fakest person she's ever messed with. That's the reason why she stopped being friends with me. She wished that she never met me. She said that the only reason why she's happy about me and her friendship is the fact that she got to have a friend like Kelsey. She said that she would not want to be friends with me ever again. Mind you, me and this girl stopped talking a while ago. Why are you sending me that now? Why you didn't send me that when we stopped talking a while ago? Why are you sending me? Why do you have all this ammo now? Like, why are you hot now, huh? Why are you hot now? So I don't even remember what I replied her, but I do know that I replied her a very, very derogatory message back that caused my old best friend Kelsey to message me. Kelsey messaged me separately and was like, y'all did jump me. She was like, I'm not saying, she basically said, I mean, you didn't jump me, you pulled me off of her. She said, but the other clique, they swung me in the restroom. That's considered jumping because I got hurt from that. But that's not the story that you're telling everyone. You're going around telling everyone Irene and the clique jumped me. Because if you told Kelly what you're telling me, Kelly would not be on my phone acting like she can't get slapped. And that was the issue that I always had with my best friend Kelsey. She always twists stories up to fit her favor. She always would tell two different stories to two different people. And she was a manipulator. She was conniving. She was a gaslighter. And I was just so tired of it. I was so sick and tired of it. If you're going around and you're telling everyone that you wanted to fight, how could you have gotten jumped when it was 5 of us against just 1 of you? I get on Facebook and I see Kelly making posts on my son. Kelsey should have told me she was going to the restroom. I would have handled mine. Kelly, rest assured, you would have got beat up. And I'm not even just talking about by me. You would have got beat up by one of them girls in that clique. You would have got beat up. Don't be acting big and bad now because you on the internet. You would have got beat up. You and I know that you would have got beat up. You know these girls' hands are applicable. Act like it. These were one of the ratchetest girls of the freaking school. You talking about you would have handled yours. No, you wouldn't have. You would have got beat up. Pipe down, bro. Pipe down. They fought, and after they fought, they never talked again. In my personal opinion, I do still feel like Brittany won that fight. I do personally feel like Brittany won that fight, but I do feel like Kelsey got her good in the end when she swung her and hit her head on that pole. I do feel like Kelsey got her really good in the end. But I do feel like Brittany won the fight. But according to, if you let Kelsey tell it, Kelsey said she won. Then big Kelsey said she won the fight. She was going around telling everyone how she won the fight. And she did this and that. And she got jumped, but she still ended up winning. Just telling fairy tale ass stories. You didn't win the fight, girl. Like, ugh. And then on top of that, Kelly started hanging out with her even more. They started hanging out with each other to irritate me. They started always posting each other on Facebook because I still have both of them on Facebook. They will post each other talking about, man, this is my friend. They started calling each other best friends. And we are going to stop right here. If you guys like this part 2 of my storytime series with my toxic best friend, you guys please let me know down below. Like I said before, we need to get this video to 2,500 likes so I can tell part 3 of the storytime, because part 3 gets very juicy. Part 3 is the school riot. Part 3 is a riot, y'all. So y'all really, really, really want to hear that story time. That is probably the juiciest story time of all these 3 story times. And y'all, as far as Brittany was concerned, I love Brittany. Me and Brittany, we don't talk anymore. Nothing happened. We just kind of went on different paths of our lives. But when me and her were friends, that was my dog. Like, she always made sure I was good type. I love me some Brittany. But she was a real writer and she was a real friend. Like, she was what I expected Kelly to be. Because believe it or not, me and Kelly were closer than me and Brittany were before I fought my best friend. So when Kelly started switching up on me, it was so shocking and it was disheartening. Brittany was my dog. Brittany was my dog. And yeah. If you guys like this video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. I will definitely come with a different eye makeup look when I film another series. I have like 3 or 4 different series to give to you guys this month. So let's go ahead and get the video to 2,500 likes, because I do not like leaving you guys with cliffhangers. Okay, I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.